All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Team S Class TSC. We have the Discord dropping soon, so be sure to, the link is going to be posted. Be sure to get in that, as well as follow us on so many platforms. We have YouTube, Twitch now, which also thank you for having me set that up. We're about to start streaming soon. Yeah. We're about to start streaming soon. Yeah, and then TikTok, right? Instagram is set up. So a lot of things are coming together. Okay, so today we're going to talk about. We're going to pose a question. Actually, should there be a cap on video games in terms of should there be a cap on how much video games cost, or should developers be allowed to charge what they feel like the game is worth? Okay, so this started. I wouldn't say it started, but a more recent example is with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Okay, because Switch games were like $60, but the developers charged $70 for it because they had. Now there was a lot in the game. It's three fucking maps. First off, Tears of the Kingdom shouldn't even be able to run on the Switch in general.
It should not.
But that's a completely different topic. So that game was $70, but you have other complete games coming out. Or that came out, like Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, okay? First off, Elden Ring released the DLC not because they had a bunch of material that they didn't release, right? They released DLC because, fan service, they wanted to release it. The game did real good, so hey, let's give it a little more. We're not going to release a part 2, which will basically kind of be the same game. We're just gonna have an addition. They didn't really have any plans for DLC, but people kept calling for it. You go to a concert like an encore, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why they came out with the DLC. So Elden Ring was a complete game, $60. Baldur's Gate complete game, $60. And so now Rockstar is about to release Grand Theft Auto for at least $100.
Still don't got.
Wait, I'm sorry, how much?
$100.
The rumor is
for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
the rumor is
hell
150.
no.
The rumor is 150.
No, who the fuck going? No, unless you a streamer. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's gonna be bit. But unless you a streamer,
the more popular streamers get the demo.
Yeah, they'll get the demo. They'll get the demo, and then they'll probably get a free copy early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or whatever. $150.
But I feel like if you're a streamer, I feel like that's because that's
more
different. That's because you at that point you have to.
Yeah.
Because everybody, you're gonna get the return. But for people who don't stream or for small time streamers who don't have an audience like that, right?
Just the regular people.
But for regular people, right? That that far away the streamers, that's a little steep.
That's a little.
That's steep.
A little.
Now, okay, and then let's just say, what if they add DLC? Now you gotta buy $30, $40 worth of DLC.
No, I'm good. That's $200.
Here's the thing, though.
Grand Theft Auto, right? Isn't it rumored that you're supposed to be able to make actual currency in the game itself?
Yeah, there's so many rules.
So that would be another reason why it would be so much, because you're gonna make your money back in return if they do that. In their defense,
who will be making their money back? People who stream it or people who play
it? From what I'm hearing, you get in-game currency. Period. Whoever's playing it,
and somehow it works in real life.
So I don't know. That's a rumor. I've been hearing it a lot, but
that sounds.
Now,
a lot of rumors in the
game. Now here's the thing. So Grand Theft Auto Online created a lot of streamers, a lot of content creators. A lot of people started their careers because of Grand Theft Auto Online. So I feel like this will be another wave of people getting into the content creation space, right? So, but even still, I feel like the people who aren't in that space, the normal, your day-to-day casual gamers, even if you're a serious gamer, but you don't stream, I feel like those far outweigh what is, on Twitch or YouTube or things like that. So again, do you think Rockstar is right in, hey, we put, at least we're gonna charge $100. We put all of this into the game, right? Do y'all feel like, because I don't think
$150, that's a lot. I mean
that's $150 without DLC.
Yeah. So thank you. Now 100, that's still
too much.
So let's use a real good example. Let's use DBZ Sparking Zero. Whether y'all realize it or not, no one really bought the regular version for Sparking Zero. They all bought the premium deluxe. It's $100+. We at the point right now where people don't mind spending $100+ on games.
Well, hold on. I like that you said that because with Sparking Zero, that $100+ came with the first season of DLC.
Right.
The first season of DLC just dropped, and we got it for it was for free. You already paid for it up front, but it ain't now like the Grand Theft Auto will be base game. So imagine paying $100 base game for Sparking Zero. Now you got to pay extra $20 DLC for Beast Gohan. And
so let's do this.
Another set coming out later.
So with that kind of game with GTA, or we could use Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate by itself is well over 200 hours of play, depending on how you play.
Yeah.
Maybe 300 hours. Imagine paying, let's say if it was $150. $150 for a game is going to take you well over just to beat it on your first 300 hours.
So that'd be
okay.
That's more so in based on how big or how big the game is.
Well, what are we basing the price on? Are we basing the price on the
on
effort that went into it, or how long it takes you to beat the game?
No. It should be how long the game is. The effort that goes into it is BS, because you could have a company that would say, we're going to spend $250 million and make it the most magical visual thing you've ever seen in your life. It's only 10, 15 hours long.
That's good. Yeah.
Like look at like Call of Duty then. If that's the case, Call of Duty is millions dropped into this game.
Yep.
First off, the campaign mode in and of itself, it's like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I mean, you're playing on Warzone is free.
Yeah.
Warzone is free.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you're playing multiplayer or even zombies, okay, I mean, you're just kind of leveling up. The gameplay doesn't really change.
It's just a
that makes
repetitive
sense.
thing over and over.
You unlock stuff, right? But even after you unlock stuff, you still gotta buy the battle pass for certain shit. So you unlock stuff to a certain degree, but you're so is it the price based on? So the price, you said the price should not include what the developers put in, but more so.
Hold on, let me back, because that sounds kind of. So from a business standpoint, if you put $250 million into a game and it requires X amount of dollars to actually make profit back, you're going to set the price to a certain level. That's fine. So if $250 million, it has to be $70 base for us to actually make something back. If they sell 5 million copies, cool. But what I'm saying is, do I want to spend $150? Is that right? Fuck no. I don't want to spend that much.
No.
I don't think that's right.
No.
My thing is, do you need to drop $250 million in every single game to make it great? No, you do not.
Because what is it?
Now, what if they're
that's just a name now. That's just a name.
Now,
prime example, Forspoken.
Yeah.
That's AAA.
Yeah.
200 mil plus went into it. It bombed.
Right.
That studio closed down. So AAA don't mean nothing. That means absolutely nothing.
People been waiting on GTA 6 for the last 12, 13 years.
Exactly.
I when I thought about it, it really hit me like, damn, it really has been over a decade since 5 years.
It's gonna be worse for PC players because after it drops, they still have to wait like an extra 8 to 10 months before
They're
the PC
gonna pirate it though. I mean,
it's
made on PC. They're gonna pirate it.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I feel like what if we did both? Okay, so what if there's a market cap, but hey, developers, there has to be some sort of system. If you put $200 million into a game, you can't charge more than $80, $90. You see what I'm saying? So what if there's
That's
both?
fair.
Okay,
okay.
Hold on. So now we got to go back to the business side of it.
Yeah.
So what would happen is, for me, if I was a businessman or most business, because what they've done is what they determine the game to be as far as success is. If we sell X amount of copies, that's because back in the day, if you sold 200,000 copies, your game did great.
No, it did crazy. Yeah,
but they moved the goalposts. 200,000 wasn't enough. Now it's $500,000. That's not enough. Now it's $1 million. They moved it again. Now, on average, if you don't sell up to 5 million copies, you fail.
Yeah.
That's just how it is now.
Like the gaming, like I said, everything is getting better.
Yeah.
The camera angles, getting more graphics. You get more
like you're not even paying for content. You're paying for visuals now.
You are getting.
But the visuals get you though.
Nintendo 64 type of graphics. So it's like.
Let's use another example. A game that's not visually like appealing or whatever, but it's still a good game. It still looks okay. It's Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars.
Oh, I love Sea of Stars.
Great game.
I love Sea of Stars.
Yeah.
But it had a good. Oh,
what is it?
Nigga, you said Chrono Trigger.
That's what it was.
That story.
Okay. it. So.
Have you never played Sea of Stars?
No.
That story.
For that short amount of game, it was good.
The first 5 or 10 minutes, I was like, man, what the fuck is this, right? But it's But when it starts going on and the stuff that happens, especially towards the end, there's a culmination. Oh my god!
Like your boy. I don't know, you might want to play it, so I ain't going to ruin it. But, you know, what's the dude? The pot?
Yeah.
The big dude.
What's going on?
I like that they give alternate endings. I like that.
Not just, they give you alternate ending Chrono Trigger. Because Chrono dies at Chrono Trigger. Yeah. Also, oh boy.
Back up real quick. Now he just said that. I thought it was the first time I remember an MC dying in his own. Chrono. The game is literally named after him.
He dies. And it's optional to bring this nigga back. It is optional to bring Chrono back. That is insane. How are you the main character? The show is, that's like Naruto dying. And then the whole cast is like, maybe we should bring him back.
That's cool.
What's happening? I don't know.
And where?
What?
Tell me.
Another anime, not video games.
Don't say Dragon Ball because the name is Dragon Ball. It's not Goku.
Yeah, there's no anime.
I didn't say.
Don't use a comic
I'm just saying.
because Akame is the main character, even though she didn't look like it.
And everybody else died.
I thought it was Tatsumi for the longest time.
What? Spike died.
Oh yeah, I thought it was Tatsumi.
Spike died.
That was left to interpretation though.
Yeah.
That nigga died.
That was
Yo, no, you get one resurrected Cowboy Bebop if you that dude. That man already, he already got brought back.
The creator himself stated that he left it to the reader's interpretation if he wanted to live or if he wants to make her die. Because he was
what? For who?
For Cowboy Bebop.
That nigga died.
To you, he died.
No,
he lived in my story.
He died.
He lived in my story.
No,
Fuck out of here. Nah.
I'm not gonna.
That was it.
No one survives that many.
He completed what he was supposed to.
Didn't he fall out the church building at the end?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it was no. The church that was like
He was shot.
He was shot several times.
No. That before it began, in the beginning, he already had got shot up and all that shit, right?
Yeah, he was riddled.
Then when the show started, it was like from episode 1 to like 4 or 5 or 6 when he fought Vicious that first time and got thrown out of the rose window in the church.
Exactly. Yeah.
He should have died.
No, because he got up and was limping away. I remember
should have died.
Yeah, I remember that.
So you good there? Okay, we're not gonna count knocking on heaven's door because the nigga got thrown out of a moving train.
He did.
Okay, we're not counting that. Oh, okay. Now we're gonna go to the end of the show. The nigga literally is riddled with bullets. He's been stabbed, cut, cleaved. Your boy who was, smashed, you both smashed in the same short and all that, you know what I'm saying?
So you basically want Spike to die.
How you gonna live?
My boy did die.
That nigga's dead, bro.
He's not dead.
Now, he had plot armor throughout the whole rest of the show, but not at the end.
That's a different level of plot armor.
Man.
He did it.
Spike is that dude.
Like you just said, he been having plot armor the whole fucking show.
But no, that's it. He's dead.
Okay.
He's dead. He completed
so at
his
the end of
mission.
the show, his plot armor is gone.
Did Spike die at the end of Cowboy Bebop? That nigga did not.
No.
He did not die.
No.
Spike did not die.
Well, hold on, let's back up real quick because now we just went sideways. But back to the cap thing though.
Sorry guys. That's our fault. There's no side tangents and we apologize, guys. We apologize.
So but like I said, I feel like they should work together. Like there needs to be levels to it. If your game costs X amount of money to make, right? Then you should be capped at X amount of dollars. That's gonna force companies to, and we're gonna put this much money into a game. It's gonna force companies at least visually. I can't speak for story, but visually, it's gonna force companies to have.
Okay, so are you saying you want a cap or you want it to be both?
I want both because I feel like it will work better if it's both. There's a system, so if you if you spend $100 million, your game cannot go past $60. If you spend $200 million, it can't go past $70, $80 or whatever.
That's fair. That's
but I'm gonna say this though. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, thank you. That's
my only issue is we do that. I don't want a game and they say, "Oh, we spent $250. It's gonna be this." That's cool. And then when I play it, I'm used Forspoken again. It's nothing but visuals the whole way through.
And the gameplay,
it has no substance.
The storyline.
So
it's just a world with nothing in it.
So it's
you gotta have
hold on. Unfortunately, because what you said is subjective.
Yeah.
Because you might think, nigga, hey,
Wait,
hey,
no,
you,
no.
Wait a minute, no.
That was hated across the board.
But then
No,
that
game was
you got
trash.
that 5% that's gonna live and die by that game.
Yeah.
No one lived and died.
I guarantee you, in like five
It was so
or
bad.
so
DLC
years.
came out for like 30. Hold on, I'm sorry. DLC came out for $30. They cut the price to $15. They cut it back down to $7. Now it's damn near free.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's free.
No one wants it.
In about 5 or so years, I guarantee you, some YouTuber somewhere out there is going to be like, why Forspoken is an underrated gem?
Oh yeah.
No, it's not. No, it won't.
I
No.
You got that 5%.
The game was so bad, the studio shut down. What are we talking about here?
You don't think that person not gonna like the game?
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. I
right.
get what you're saying, but
They
there
don't
is
fuck about
going to be
the
that
music.
one dude or that one group, because we see the channels, we see the other guys that literally like, you know what, guys, I understand that
Okay.
the studio shut down.
The only
I
way-
get it. No, listen, I understand that the studio shut down.
Okay.
And you know what I'm saying? It just really didn't do that well, and this game like tanked. But you know what? We're just gonna sit here and just take time to appreciate.
Watch me on
You
live.
know it's gonna happen.
And the first thing
Now,
Only
since
certain
he said
games
that,
deserve
no. Since he said that, what's a game that you like that nobody else likes?
That with us?
No. I'm just saying in general.
Oh, damn.
What is a
okay.
game that you like to? Some people could like Forspoken. What is a game that you like?
No one should like football.
What is a game that you like, right? That you like to play that nobody else that financially like it tanked or reviews were so bad. I mean, because the same thing could be said with movies, right? Let's say what's a movie that got a really bad Rotten Tomatoes score, but hey, I loved it. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. That it's subjective.
That's fair.
It's
The rest
subjective.
of you guys don't like Eternals. I actually still.
No,
I don't fuck with it.
Huh?
I'm
I don't fuck
sorry.
with
I
it.
actually still.
I like
You
it.
liked it?
Yeah, I actually still kind of like it. It wasn't.
I liked it too. You good.
It wasn't garbage because they got certain things.
I'm not saying
right.
it's garbage.
No, I'm saying they got certain things right in that movie to where I felt
Out of
like,
10.
damn.
Out of 10.
I'm gonna give you a 7.
I give it. That's
Too
what
high.
I'm saying. I
Just because I like it.
no, I give
Just
it a
'cause you
7
like
too. No,
Yeah,
I give it a
okay.
7. So, and I'm sorry.
You giving it a 7?
Yeah,
He
because
said
they got certain things. No,
I mean,
they got certain
when I
things
hear
right.
it,
He said
because
five.
out of
So
all
wait.
the movies we've seen with speedsters, tell me they
No.
didn't.
You didn't, hold on. You didn't answer his question. What do you give it out of 10?
no.
What do you give it out of 10? 7. You give it a what?
7.
What do you give it?
I like the characters. I like the characters, bro. Like,
If
look,
I didn't like
The
it,
reason-
yeah,
hold
it
on.
was
Hold on,
woke.
let's-
It
let's-
was
I just like the
all
story. I just
woke,
like the
and it was
visuals.
all-
Okay, see, hold on, back up. Visuals is the only reason I give it a 5. The speedster scene, fine. Icarus, fine.
Not
Some of the
like-
fights, fine. Angelina Jolie, fine.
Not
I give you that. The
that's
story,
why I got my 7.
dog water.
Now, listen to what he just said. The visuals is why he gave it a 5, which is why there should be a cap with X amount of money you spend.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Because
So
150 ain't fucking happening, nigga. I just look, dog. So one of us can buy it and we can.
I'm not buying that.
Okay, see, or we can pull together and then we can share it between
Pull what?
each of us.
I'm
You
not
can
pulling
buy it,
that.
you just gotta start saving for it now.
Yeah.
I just put $25. I just put $25 out my check yesterday for it, so we good. Last time it come out, I had that $150. Now I ain't got to worry about it. I ain't got to worry about it. My bills be paid and everything. I just keep saying, and I will spend that $150.
I have never heard
That's
of somebody saving money to buy a
Oh,
console.
no, nigga,
Yes,
back in the day,
a
you
console.
Know, back in the day, you
no,
knew
nigga, a
Well, we
console.
didn't have jobs,
Yes,
yeah.
a game is different.
Yeah,
You collecting your allowance is not the same as a nigga who got bills.
that's,
You feel me?
That's 2 different
So
things,
a console, yes, a game for a single game.
But that's just letting you know how games and how far games came. Like, if I got really, like, if
Save
I can't
for
go and be like,
a
oh,
game.
this game swipe the card,
And be
and I
done
gotta
with
sit
it.
here and be like, damn, the game can't come out in October. I get paid next week. You put this 50 right here.
Yeah.
You put this 50 next month. No,
Yeah.
yeah, that's how it is. That's how it's gonna be now.
Because they just get
Now-
more expensive.
Now hold on, I feel like they should do the same thing with consoles as well.
True.
No, they won't.
A cap,
No,
it will
won't.
never
No.
happen.
No.
But hold on, because
This-
I feel like consoles are getting to the point where they're starting to be like phones. Okay, and let me explain.
No, I agree.
So
Yeah,
it's getting to that point. Not right now, but I can see it going in the direction. Because while there are actual upgraded features for the Switch 2. Don't get me wrong, there are actual updated features for Switch 2. But I feel like it's starting to get to a point to where it's getting harder to justify $600, $700, $800. Because what if because the new Xbox is supposed to come out 2026,
the Prime.
right? And which it's fine. Xbox it literally lived its life cycle. It just the years went by a little fast. Xbox is ending its life cycle, its gaming console life cycle. So it's time for a new one. Now, what if PlayStation, because PlayStation is supposed to come out end of 2027, early 2028. Now, what if PlayStation start operating like iPhones? What if they just give you the console? There's no, because it's already optional to have a disc drive or not, right?
Yeah,
and also the gaming libraries, buying games on a game library is, people are starting to realize it's becoming obsolete because they don't hold on to your games for every game disc or forever,
Exactly.
right? So, but PlayStation already started doing that with, we're giving you the option. So what if the next console, they don't give you the option? What if the next console, they don't even come with controllers, nigga? You gotta buy the controller separately now.
You gotta buy the AC adapter.
Now you gotta buy the adapter.
iPhone, you don't get no plug.
Yeah, so now it's
I don't know.
$800 just for a base PlayStation 6,
and then the
right?
Controller's
$80.
And then the adapter
and then
is what? Fucking $40.
The adapter to charge the fucking controller, fucking $20, $30. So there needs to be a cap. What's the stop?
So then
What's
they
the
say,
stop?
we're gonna give you the bundle that comes with everything. I'm like, well, what does the base come with? Oh, just a console. What? No, really?
You can
Hold on.
get the console.
I like what all of y'all are saying, but the only reason what you're saying doesn't really matter is because PlayStation does with no one minus Nintendo.
Yeah, right.
Exclusives.
That's true.
That's all I got to say.
That's true.
Exclusives.
But okay.
If I tell you the only way to play the latest God of War is to get a PlayStation, and let's just go into the future. Let's just fuck around here.
Thank you,
a
Mario.
PS10. Let's say it's a PS10. We're in that timeline, and the new God of War is out. And the only way you can play it is you get a PS10. But yeah, you gotta buy the PS10, the AC adapter, the controller, and whatever extra pieces. Cool. If you don't, you're not playing it. What are you doing?
Yeah,
it's not coming out on PC ever. It's only on PlayStation.
Because they did the same thing with like
what PlayStation does is PlayStation. It doesn't matter if PlayStation and Apple did the same thing. It doesn't matter if I upgrade the device and it's the same thing every single year. I have set it to where if you don't get it, you don't get what comes with it. So
but hold on. Here's the thing: the issue isn't necessarily with releasing the same thing. The issue is
you said if it's justified. Justification doesn't matter anymore. See, the thing about it, that's why Apple has such a strong following. They've locked people into a place of, this is why I'm buying the Apple device, because the superiority or this, and there's nowhere else you can get that. Same thing with PlayStation. No other console, minus Nintendo, and their market is so locked down, no one really gives a damn.
Yeah.
You can't get those visuals or that kind of game anywhere else unless you buy a PlayStation.
Apple only, I mean, granted, we are in America. Apple only sells in America. Apple is barely top 5 the rest of the world.
That's perfectly fine. In the United States, first off, that doesn't even matter because Apple has so much money that who cares if they don't sell in America?
Seriously.
I'm using the same model. Yes, PlayStation has a wider scope, but what I'm saying is, due to those exclusives, you can't. Who are you going to? If God of War is only here, where are you going? And they'll never release it on PC. I'm just gonna be happy because they've done that with some games. You'll never get it on PC.
No Steam.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
But I mean, that's if obviously if you're a God of War fan.
No. So let's try this again because you're gonna try move the goalpost. If that is the
I feel like you
biggest game,
my question.
No. If that is the big, I'm trying to let you know why it doesn't matter. If that is the biggest game of the year and everybody and their mama wants it, and the only way you can get it is to get that PlayStation. Are you going to get that PlayStation? Along with the controllers that are sold separately, along with the adapter that's sold separately, along with the accessory that's sold separately. Okay, so there's no need for justification because as a business, you know it doesn't matter. The consumer is going to buy it because they want that everybody else wants.
So
same thing they do with music. If an album sells really well, it's multi-platinum. Everybody's talking about this one song. Guess what you're gonna do?
So is
buy the album.
So is the issue? Is the issue? Okay, so at that point, is the issue the company or is the issue the consumer?
I mean,
Both. The company knows they can take advantage of the consumer. The consumer is so caught up in the product, they don't care about the price. So they're both to blame because the consumer said, "I'm not buying this." Sony has to dial back, like, okay, we went a little too far.
Yeah.
For example, look at what happened with the PS3. They overpriced the crap out of that thing.
Like a month.
And they dialed back the price on that.
So what needs to happen before we're like, oh, companies need to stop charging us an arm and a leg for these video games, not consoles, for these video games. Because unfortunately, whether we like it or not, Grand Theft Auto is going to sell. It's going to sell.
We know this. Yes.
But I feel like the next era of games that tries to follow in Rockstar's footsteps, they're going to tank.
100%.
They're gonna tank.
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
But once again, so if we go based off what I was saying, if the consumer, let's leave the company alone, because a company's main objective is to make money. That's so that leave them. They're doing their job. They're trying to make as much money as possible. But if the consumer sits there and says, "Hey, I'm not buying this. I don't care if you put 3,000 hours in it. I'm not paying 150, 400, or whatever."
It'll make them.
The average everyday, because I can't afford to keep doing that every single time with every single game that comes out in every.
They're gonna have to change it because
I'm not doing that. I'm not
it's
doing that. People have jobs,
unrealistic.
cars,
It's unrealistic.
houses,
Yeah.
families. You gotta take care of all that and themselves on top of that. And then you want me to buy a $200 game
It's
and
gonna
a
boil
$1,000
down-
console,
Yeah,
and
it's
then I
gonna-
gotta buy all this. Nah, come
See,
on,
it's
man.
gonna boil down to the ones that actually stream as a living, or actually like they're the ones who are gonna do it, which there are a lot. But
But even some streamers will let you know this isn't justified. Like there's
no,
nothing.
there
negative on that.
there have been a lot. Like, yo, this is just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, this game
Like,
is-
So
this is-
what would justify? Okay, in your opinions, what would justify? Just for sake of argument, what would justify a game being $120? What needs to be in that game
dude,
for
like,
you
like-
to justify it being
like
$120?
I said earlier, Golden Gate 3.
Yeah,
like,
for
it's
me,
a big ass
it ha-
game. It's
yeah.
200 some hours. I wouldn't mind.
So
And
it
then-
has to have. Oh,
Go
ahead.
on.
No.
That's how
Okay,
it works.
yeah,
how it
that's what I was
works.
looking for. It has to have what?
For me personally, I have to have the visuals. I have to have the gameplay,
Okay.
like replayability. The story has to, the story has to
Replayability,
be,
That's
sure.
important.
and the
Replayability
story
for
has
sure.
to be engaging enough for me to want to continuously play this and not get
There
tired.
we go. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
So
like
like
it'll
in Sun Wukong, because AJ's beat it the most.
do like
every
they
time-
actually
every
did like
time-
6, 7 times.
But every time you beat Sun Wukong, you get different items, because there's
Yep.
a certain
New
item in there
stats,
that you
new
can.
armor.
So the relics.
Yeah, there's a
Relics.
certain item in there you can only get once per playthrough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Towards the end, and it's used to I think
get
upgrade
his
the
full
ultimate
set.
armor.
Bro,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you told me that, you said you got to beat at least 3 new game plus before the real Wukong armor to work. I said,
So in that aspect, just for that aspect alone, makes that game replayable.
because
Every
you
game
want
have to
it,
do that now.
you want it, because like you didn't grind it so hard, like you know, you get this.
Well, hold on, wait. I don't want to say that.
ahead.
So every game should have something like that.
Yeah,
So Wukong is an action game. Action games should have some kind of degree of, okay, we beat the first time. Okay, there's special armor, power,
Nah, I
whatever.
get
You
to
gotta
go
do it again.
so I can
Cool.
get it
But
up.
games like Baldur's Gate, okay, you play the story this way. Now you can play it again
Take
this way.
another
You can
path.
play
Oh,
it again
your
this way.
experiences
You can
are
play it
always
again
different.
This way.
Always
or
different.
that way.
Baldur's
that's
Fucking
what
love
makes
Baldur's
it.
Gate.
That's what makes
Baldur's
it.
Gate is so. You make this choice
Yeah.
and then make this choice, the story
No,
goes
no,
this
no,
way.
yeah.
But now,
Yes.
guess what? If you make
Yes.
this choice, but you make the same choice for the second time, okay, the story's gonna go this way now. Like they have multiple
Right. That's-
engines.
that
Everything's
is
an arc you
replayability,
have,
too.
and that's replayability.
That is,
at its
yeah.
finest.
That-
Now, hold on, I'm at you because that Baldur's Gate is a perfect. Wukong is base level, and Baldur's Gate is the prime example
That's
of
the apex.
replayability.
That
yes.
is the apex.
Now, how many of y'all have replayed Grand Theft Auto 5?
I beat it once and I was done.
As far as the story, right? I played beat it
Yeah,
once and that was
That's it. That's it.
The thing
Because
about the-
everybody was playing online.
That's
it.
it.
That was
That's
the
it.
reason why.
That's
Everybody
what-
was
yeah.
playing
But that's
online.
it.
online.
But that's the thing people play it for. They're not playing it for the story.
They're
The story is good though.
Yeah, the story's great. Yeah.
I'm not-
No, yeah, I'm not. No, it's a great story.
Yeah, but it's
there's
just-
no replayability.
No, not really. It's online that you're playing for.
I
That's
mean,
it.
because there were certain things.
And online's
like,
free.
There were certain things in 5, like, oh, if you do this, you kill Trevor instead of killing.
Yeah,
Mike.
they do like a little.
There's
swoop.
certain things,
But it's not-
a
it's
lot.
It's not as major.
not-
Yeah, it's not
as
like the level that
Baldur's
Gate
Gate
takes
changes the fucking story.
Yeah,
If
so that
everything
is
flips,
at its
like
finest.
if you end this person's life, the whole game has to now
It
go in a
shifts,
whole
yeah.
other direction.
That is what makes that.
Or rather, if you end this person's life and then you make 2 different choice options afterwards, okay, now it's supposed to go this way, but you messed up. You're supposed to say this instead of this. Now it's going to go this way.
That makes it.
So to justify a $120 video game purchase, there has to be obviously graphic wise. There has to be
Graphics.
replayability.
Yep.
Visuals.
Well, we're the
Story,
graphics.
yeah,
Yeah,
story,
graphics,
story,
story, because it has to be captivating.
But yes.
Which in turn includes, because the story includes meaningful characters.
Yes. Like I'm connected to this because
Yeah,
I'm
like
playing this for
that's
80,
the
100
main
hours.
thing. If I get connected
I
to
feel
certain
this character, yo. I'm with this.
Do you have to be? Well,
I wouldn't say
you know why I
connected,
say
but
that?
you gotta have
Because-
some type of.
It
You gotta like
is
that. You gotta
connection.
like
Not
that.
necessarily. It is connection. Not necessarily like I can see myself in this character, but I can relate to what this character
Right.
has
Okay, so
going
the
on
reason
or
I say it's
whatever
like,
it is,
I'm about that is because like, if we're still using Baldur's Gate, the main character, there's no.
you create the character.
That's what I'm saying. There's
Tab. It's
nothing,
tab.
there's
Yeah.
nothing to connect to there.
You connect to the fact that you created the damn character.
Yeah.
That you
That's
make the
your
character.
character.
You
You
make the
gotta
character
go through
your
story.
image.
Yeah, the visual aspect of the character, yeah, you made it, but after that,
Like,
there's
you
nothing
made-
to connect
You
to.
created it.
Okay, tell me what's so special about Tab.
No, I'm saying, but
Hold on, no. What about Tab made you connect to that?
because it's supposed to be
character?
you.
Take away the creative
Because
part.
nigga, you creating you in this world. It's an isekai. You in this world. The tab is you.
No, bro.
Alright, so you created.
What do you mean? No, nigga, that's what it is.
A better example would
Listen.
be like.
You created Ikachiku. You are in the game.
No. A better example would be like a connection would be like let's use The Last of Us with Joel and Ellie.
No. I'm not
That
saying
level of connection is different.
Yes,
Yeah.
well, that's what I was getting at. But I'm not saying
Compared to Tav, what do you?
Well, there
I mean,
shouldn't be a comparison to begin with.
Because
But-
No, I'm talking about in terms of like how the game pulls you in.
That's an emotional.
Baldur's
roller
Gate is
coaster to go
just
through.
it's just there's so much to do, and what that game did was even though it's a lot, all of it is engaging.
Well,
All
there's
of it is
multiple
worth it. All
ways
of
to
it.
there's multiple ways to get you pulled into a game though. I wasn't trying to sit here and say there's only one way for you to be connected to a character or to a game or whatever. There's multiple ways to get pulled into a game.
I can
Okay,
pull
well,
the game off basically like a fight game. Good
Yeah.
combos, fast paced.
Dog,
I'm connected.
dog, yeah,
Okay.
the characters,
The
yeah,
characters-
I'm telling you,
characters,
dog, because
characters can look like 2D sprites.
when Marvel
As long
came
as
out,
combos
and as
and
long
beats
as
is
it,
good.
as long as the fluidity and how you felt when you hit that shit, when you did a carry combo from one end of the screen to the other in Marvel 2, nigga, you felt like you was a god.
Now,
You,
I also feel like story can play because when he said Last of Us,
Yeah.
Last of Us doesn't change, but that fucking story.
it grabs
I have
you.
played
It
Last of
holds
Us so
you
many
hard.
times. Yeah. It holds you. So
Like-
that story is so captivating. Okay. So there's multiple ways to have replayability, to have connection, but as long as those factors are there,
Yeah.
so you would justify those factors for a $120 game.
If Baldur's Gate was 120, I've already played it. If it was 120, I'd still buy it.
Yeah,
I
no,
would.
seriously.
100%.
I would.
100%.
The
I'd still
fact
buy it.
that it's a complete game, like that makes it complete. Like you
That
can,
game is more.
But Baldur's
So, it's-
but Baldur's Gate. But here's the thing: you could have 5, 6, 7 different files on Baldur's Gate, and each fucking file
It's
is
different.
it's different.
It's different.
From
And
beginning
that's,
to end.
and that's
That's
what
ridiculous.
justifies that amount of money that you're going to be spending. I'm not spending $120, $150
On a 40-hour game.
on a 40-hour game.
If it gets to 40.
If it gets to
If.
40.
And that's
And-
without,
and-
that's
and-
without
and-
like extra content.
Yeah, and
quests
that's just
and
like
all that
base,
stuff.
like, oh, the graphics are good.
I mean, honestly, with you, I
The
mean,
game
it
plays-
was long ago, over a decade ago. I don't remember. This isn't like attacking Grand Theft Auto at all. I just
What,
don't
3 or
remember
4?
5. I just don't remember how long 5 was.
5 was
I don't
40
think
hours.
5 was not 40
It wasn't
hours.
40 hours.
Now, granted, there was a lot of side missions to do, but it was
But the
not 40
main-
hours.
If you went
Yeah,
straight to
yeah,
the main, it
just-
wasn't
yeah.
40
It was
hours.
maybe
I don't
like,
know.
and the only reason it
I
was
don't
like,
I
it
played 5, 6
seemed
years.
like it was longer.
Yeah, 5 has been a minute. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Only reason it seemed long is because we probably had other stuff to do at that time. And,
But what was the most memorable thing from 5 though? Trevor.
That's it.
That's
But-
it.
And before that is what
That nigga-
fucking CJ and Grove Street.
Yeah.
So,
That's how it
yeah.
But see,
Grove
when you
Street,
thought of
bro.
Grove Street, you think about the PS2 days.
No, and no, the
Yeah.
main thing you
Off-rip,
think
you know,
about is
stuff
let
like
me
that.
get the number 9 with the extra sauce.
And then matter of fact,
Number
CJ,
6.
that scene has been turned into a meme. Where
Yes.
you're going into that, you know, bitches, right? You know, people have had Cell and
Hey,
Frieza and
Like, bro, you know, like, bro, it's iconic when you remember the most hated character in that game was Officer Samuel Jackson, who voiced him.
Well, I know what you're
Officer.
talking about.
yeah, I know what he looks like. I remember his name.
Yeah, I remember the face.
I
The
know what
most,
he looked like.
hated that fool. I hated that nigga.
So anyway, we've been doing this for
Yeah,
a
it's
fucking
been a
minute.
minute, dog.
Yeah.
This this is one that can go on for a good minute.
Yeah. So man, we're gonna clip a lot because we just asked a lot of questions.
We did.
But what justifies? What do y'all think would justify a $120 game purchase? And should there be a level cap, or should we allow developers to continue to charge what they feel like is necessary for the game? Okay. Again, as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to follow us on all sorts of platforms. The links will be linked below. And again, thanks for watching.